The family thanked all of the volunteers. Their heartfelt thank you to everyone in the community who searched for Sean for hours, volunteering their time. Funeral services are pending through a Roseville funeral home. Reporting live, I'm Alicia Malaby. Christina, back to you.
All right, very sad, Alicia. We will have much more on the investigation into Sean Sullivan's death a little later in the newscast. Thank you.
And another tragic story this afternoon.
Sean, thank you. Well, a sad discovery this morning where a Caltrans worker found the missing car of 21-year-old Sean Patrick Sullivan. His mangled black Camaro was hidden deep in shrubbery on the shoulder of eastbound I-80 near Greenback. Sullivan's body was located 20 feet away from the vehicle. Authorities suspect he lost control early last Sunday when he went missing. Highway Patrol is treating the site like a crime scene, but there is no indication of foul play.
Well, we're not sure if he was ejected as well or he got out of the vehicle on his own, but the evidence that we're noting at the scene right now, it appears that he was actually ejected from the vehicle. We are going to try and determine his speed and anything else.
The speedometer on Sullivan's car was stuck around 70 miles per hour. Highway Patrol isn't sure if that's how fast he was going when he struck the wall. If you believe you witnessed the accident or have any information about Sullivan's death, you're asked to call CHP at the number on your screen. It's 916-338-6710. Well, there was a happy ending in the case of a missing Orangevale woman. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Paul has the night off. Our top story at this hour, the end of the search for a college student who disappeared more than a week ago. The body of 21-year-old Sean Sullivan and his car were found this morning near Interstate 80 in Greenback. George Franco is at that location right now with more on the discovery. George?
Well, Marcy, this stretch of Interstate 80 eastbound near Elkhorn and Greenback is a very busy stretch of the highway, and likely the people who were searching for Sean Patrick Sullivan passed by this area during their searches, but there was no way that they nor anybody else knew that the car was behind these bushes. Thousands of motorists have passed the Interstate 80 spot in the week and one day since 21-year-old Sean Patrick Sullivan disappeared.
Obviously, his car traveled down here, came to rest here. We believe he was ejected out of the vehicle.
His mangled Camaro was found by a Caltrans maintenance worker shortly before noon, hidden deep in the east side shrubbery. The round mark on the sound wall is believed to be the marking from the tire of Sean Sullivan's Camaro, after apparently he lost control.
We do have some skid marks on the paved portion of the roadway, continuing to the dirt and grass area, skidding along and all the way up to the wall there, where you can see the marks on the wall indicating where his first impact.
Sean Sullivan's body was found 20 feet or so east of the car, face down. The major accident investigation team of the Highway Patrol is trying to determine if he was ejected or if he crawled out of the car. But it was a terrible blow for family and friends who stopped by the scene. Dozens had been searching for Sullivan, canvassing the area where he was last seen early 2 Sunday mornings ago, and then fanning out. Their volunteer efforts a comfort for a frightened family who now has some answers.
I know that they just want to thank everybody I guaranteed for, there's a lot of support, volunteers and stuff we know about, and just pray.
Sacramento's law enforcement chaplaincy is providing counseling to family and friends and others who will need it, now that Sean Patrick Sullivan has been found.
I believe he's been there since the early morning hours of Sunday when he first was missing.
Which takes us to this phone number, 338-6710. It's the North Sacramento Highway Patrol Division. They're asking anyone who may have been along this stretch of highway 2 Sundays ago about 4:30 in the morning that might have any information to give them a call. Meantime, we go back live now and we will see that there are some flowers which have been left at the tree that had to be removed to remove the car of this young man. Reporting live tonight along Interstate 80, I'm George Franco. Marcy, back to you.
That is so sad. Well, obviously the family had a lot of support during the search. Hopefully they'll continue to have support now that they know he's no longer alive.
Yeah. All
right, George Franco, thank you. A 2-year-old child was killed when his family was attacked by a relative.
Would never think in a million years that, you know, anybody would be so close, so right off the freeway. But
a missing college student is found dead, his car just yards away from a busy freeway.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Paul has the night off. The death of that 21-year-old student is our big story tonight at 10. Sean Sullivan found just feet from possible safety. His mangled black Camaro was hidden deep in shrubs on the shoulder of eastbound I-80 near Greenback. George Franco joins us now live tonight with more. George?
Well, Jennifer, you know, every day thousands of motorists travel this stretch of Interstate 80, including for the last week or so many people who were searching for Sean Patrick Sullivan, who had no way of knowing he actually was very nearby.
It's hard to know that you drove by that area, you know, more than a few times and to know that that's where he was found.
The area is eastbound Interstate 80, just before the Greenback Elkhorn exit, where Sean Patrick Sullivan's mangled car is discovered about 1:45 by a Caltrans maintenance worker.
It was definitely an unusual freak accident in a sense to be there.
Joaquin Fabella is a senior staff member at the Lord's Gym in Roseville, which is affiliated with the Abundant Life Fellowship Church, where Sean Sullivan's picture is prominently placed and where he and his family worship, and where he'll be missed.
On behalf of the family and Abundant Life Fellowship, they just want to thank from the bottom of their hearts all those that gave their time.
All the volunteers who canvassed the area where Sean Sullivan disappeared then fanned out to surrounding counties in hopes of finding the missing 21-year-old student who disappeared 2 Sunday mornings ago.
I believe he's been there since the early morning hours of Sunday when he first was missing.
The Highway Patrol's major accident investigation team is trying to understand why or how Sean Sullivan's Camaro went off Interstate 80, apparently went airborne, crashed into the sound wall, and twisted into the long hidden position. Sean's body was found 20 feet or so east of the car, face down.
We're not sure if he was ejected as well, or was ejected, or he got out of the vehicle on his own. But the evidence that we're noting at the scene right now, it appears that he was actually ejected from the vehicle.
Whatever happened, at least his family and friends now have a partial answer.
But to know that Sean's up there in heaven looking down over those balconies and smiling down and seeing all those that believed and loved him.
The Highway Patrol is asking anyone who may have been traveling this stretch of eastbound Interstate 80 near Greenback around 4:30 in the morning 2 Sundays ago and may have seen anything to give them a call. It could be important information. Meantime, the family of Sean Patrick Sullivan now turns to the funeral. No details have been released yet. Reporting live tonight along Interstate 80, I'm George Franco. Jennifer, back to you.
So, George, do they have any idea, did excessive speed play a part in this?
I'm sorry, Jennifer, it's pretty loud. What did you say?
Excessive speed, did it play a part?
Well, they were looking at the speedometer, which was frozen right around 70 miles an hour. The car went airborne, slammed into the sound wall, and twisted and got shoved under those shrubberies. So, yeah, they do believe excessive speed played a part, but they need to confirm that. That's why they're looking for eyewitnesses to this case. They are not calling this foul play. At this point, they believe it was an accident.
Okay. All right, George, thank you for that. A toddler and 3 adults are the victims in a savage sledgehammer.
Damage is estimated at $250,000.
The search for a missing college student may be over tonight. A body found along Interstate 80 in North Sacramento County appears to be Sean Sullivan. Fox 40's Michelle Kennedy joins us live now from where Sullivan was last seen. Michelle, what can you tell us?
Terry, Sullivan was last seen getting into his car in this parking lot near Howe and 50 early on the morning of the 19th. This morning, a road worker found what is believed to be Sullivan's body and his car off of Interstate 80. A dense area of trees and brush is cordoned off and traffic stops on I-80 near Citrus Heights as 2 parents are forced to face their worst fear.
Apparently got ejected out the right side window. Apparently at this point it looks like he did not have a seatbelt on.
A Caltrans worker discovered the Camaro 21-year-old Sierra College student Sean Sullivan was driving the last time he was seen. What the CHP believes is his body was found 20 feet from the car.
Sean was the best kind of person that the world had to offer. He was the most intelligent person that I knew.
Sean's father, along with hundreds of friends, family, and volunteers, searched last week and combed the route Sean would have taken home from Sacramento to Roseville.
They worked hard trying to find him. They were pounding the bushes, walking through fields.
But the bushes and trees here on eastbound I-80 near Greenback were too thick for anyone to immediately see the black paint on the sound wall and skid marks left from Sean's car. People who knew Sean Sullivan describe him as a fun-loving young man who loved his friends and family. The CHP does not yet know why his car left the roadway.
There's hope for Sean to be found, safe. But fortunately, that wasn't the case, and he's going to be missed by a lot of people.
Now, an autopsy and positive identification on the body should be done by Wednesday. Investigators do not yet know if alcohol was involved in this accident. Reporting live in Sacramento, Michelle Kennedy, Fox 40 News.
Michelle, thank you. Still no word tonight on an Auburn man missing.
A tragic ending to the 9-day search for a missing Sierra College student. Today, a Caltrans worker found the body of Sean Sullivan on the side of Interstate 80 near the Greenback off-ramp. The California Highway Patrol says Sullivan's car appears to have skidded off the road and crashed into the sound wall. Sean Sullivan was last seen leaving a fast food restaurant at 4:30 in the morning after attending a couple of parties in Davis. Investigators do not know whether speeding or alcohol played a role in the crash or if Sullivan just fell asleep at the wheel.
Home insurance companies begin using satellites to monitor your home, and the result reports.
A surprising and grim ending in the search for a missing college student from Granite Bay. California Highway Patrol finding the body of 21-year-old Sean Sullivan dead in his car that crashed off Interstate 80 near Greenback Lane. Investigators believe the car ran off the freeway in the early morning hours a week ago, but nobody noticed it. It was well hidden behind a sound wall. Investigators still don't know whether he fell asleep, was forced off the road, or alcohol was a factor. 65-year-old man missing since Thursday, recovering tonight after...
Vang was arrested after a short police pursuit. And the search has ended for a college student missing for a week. 21-year-old Sean Sullivan and his car found yesterday morning. This mangled Camaro hidden deep in shrubbery on the shoulder of eastbound I-80 near Greenback. CHP investigators believe Sullivan crashed the car and died after he was ejected. Nearly 1 million Floridians are still without power today.
The night after learning a missing Sierra College student had died, his mother is thanking everyone who worked so hard to find her son. Curtis Ming joins us now with his one-on-one interview with Sean Sullivan's mom.
Well, Jennifer's family and many of his friends are still numbed by the news. They thought they were so close to finding him, with several possible sightings and a search dog picking up his scent over the weekend. Today, Sean's friends pay tribute, and his family is offering a heartfelt thanks. A makeshift shrine of flowers grows along Interstate 80 where Sean Sullivan lost his life. Hidden behind the trees where his Camaro crashed, a sound wall now filled with chalk-written messages from those who loved him.
I think people are very compassionate. Most people that have children can feel the pain that I'm going through.
For 8 days, it was a mystery. The Sierra College student never made it home from a party the night of the 19th. Family and friends held vigils, released balloons of hope, and covered hundreds of square miles searching.
It was a little bit of a relief that he wasn't out wandering around hurt somewhere, not waiting for me to come and find him.
His mother now knows she and hundreds of volunteers were closer to Sean than they ever imagined during their search, driving right past the crash site near Greenback Lane numerous times.
It was sad that we weren't able to find him sooner, and we went through this traumatic 8-day